Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be doing Olympus from TryHackMe. This is my expert about Medium. Yeah, let's get on to the video. So I'm going to start this video my terminal here. I'm going to start by pinging the IP address. So I'll do ping my receive the count for 3 on 10.10.102.69. So I'll do Control-Shift-Z, so RAM map scan. So I'll do mmISSC for default scripts, -v for enumeration, which kind of ports in the IP. Do this, so I'll do -v verbose. Look at the ports, so you have ports open for SSH and also port open for HTTP. So I'm just visiting port 80. So doing this, it does seem like we do get a host name for Olympus THM. So I'm just copy this. I'm going to VI to my/etc host. So I'm VI to /etc host. We do have the IP address sent to 10.10.102. We do have 69. I'm just going to delete the HTTP. We don't need that. I'm just going to right quit. Refresh this. And here we do get a Olympus version 2. So here we do see that this website is still in development. We can contact root at the IT department. The old version of the website is still accessible on this domain. So I'm going to control the source code. And it doesn't seem like to get anything. So doing this, I'm starting by doing some more enumeration. We're going to get GoBuster. So do Control-Shift-Z. We're going to GoBuster to remote -u and the IP address. We'll do -w for /user share word list or buster. Directory list 2.3 medium.txt. We'll do extensions as HTML, TXT, and also PHP. So doing this, we do get index type PHP. Looking back at the ports, we're going to have 2 ports open for 22 for SSH and also port open for HTTP. So doing this, it doesn't seem like we're getting anything. So I'm going to start by using a different word list here. Usually when I do have, usually when I don't get anything, I just start using for like common.txt, which can allow me to use the smaller word list. This will allow me to scan through directories faster. So it does seem like we do get a webmaster here. So I'm just going to copy webmaster. We'll do / we do have webmaster. And here we do get a Victor CMS. So we do have a user by root. It does seem like we do have credentials by root. We do have the parameter for post, which is equal to 1. If I do like 2, it's going to go to the second post for 1. But it doesn't seem like we do have those posts available for us to read. I also do have this, which is going to be for 6. We do have other user by root, same user as root. This is making all these comments, and we do have a login for, I'm just going to try admin. Doesn't seem like we do get anything. Doesn't seem like we do anything. I'm going to start by doing some more enumeration against this directory here. So to GoBuster to remote -u into the IP address, we'll do -w for /user share word list or bus directory listed with medium.txt. We'll do extensions as HTML, TXT, and also PHP. So doing this, we do have a next.php, search.php, and also image and category.php. Since this is a CMS, I'm going to start by searching for a Victor CMS. We'll just search up exploitDB or exploitDB. Let me search up for exploit. So here we do have 2 exploits here, which can be for file upload RSC and also an SQL injection. So I'm going to be searching for this SQL injection. Looking at this, we do have a SQL injection here for the search parameter on the search.php. We did find a search.php right here, which should be valid on the server. Yeah, it does seem like this is valid. We just do get a heading here. It does seem like it's using the search parameter. So basically just going to be search is equal to this. We can just see what kind of SQL injection this is. So looking at the payload, we do know this is union injection since it is using union select 1,2, version. So it's getting the version of the database, listing out the current database that you're in. And it does seem like there's only 10 columns since it is doing 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's only 10 columns before it does, before you do get an error. 10 is going to be for like when you get a good page, which is going to go to search.php. We do have an SQL map command, which we can later on use. And here is what we do have. So doing this, we do have this equal to search. I'm just take this off. I'm just going to start by, I'm starting a burp. So I'm just going to go to next, start burp. So I'm just going to go to proxy, go to options. I'm going to go to specific address here on 10.8.165.68. I'll do Control R. So I'm going to send this within repeater. So you do know this is a post request. So I'm going to change this to I'm going to change the request method to a post. We need to have the payload, which is going to equal to search, which was right here. Before doing this, I usually, when I do SQL injections, I just URL decode this. I really don't need this to be URL encoded. So I just go to convert selection, go to URL decode. We do get an error, I believe. If I go to render, you just see that I do get a SQL error, which is for the syntax. So before doing this, we do need to search for how many columns that we do have, right? Before doing this, we'll just delete this. We'll do test, put a space here. So here we do need to do a order by. If we do like an order by, this is going to basically just let us find out how many columns there are, right? Until we do get a normal page. So we can do you can put any parameter here that you want. I'm just putting order by. So I'll just do like 100. If I do 100, you do see that this is not in the order clause. Next, I'm going to start by trying out for like 50. See if that does work. It's still not in the order clause. Next, I'm going to start by going lower, which I'm going to go like 20 maybe, which is not likely. We'll do 15. Doesn't seem to work. I'm going to go like to 12. Doesn't seem to work. I'm going to try 10. We'll send that. And it does seem like we do get a no result. So if I do try 11, you'll see that we do get a order clause. So we do know that 10 is the valid column, right? So we do have 10 columns. So doing this, I'm just going to do Control Z, so we can get that payload back. Yeah, so here, basically I usually change this to my own parameter. I just do test. I just put a space here. We'll do union select. It doesn't matter, but I usually like doing this. So we have union select for the version. I'm just going to delete the version here. We'll just do 3. We'll do 4 here. We'll do 4 comma, which we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which we did test out using the order by, right? Order by 100 and order by 50, right? Which we did get 10, which is the page that does work. So we can just send this. Here we do get the column here, which is going to be for 3 and 4. So we do have the union select for 3 and 4. So for 3, I do want to display out for example, just to display out the version, right? Which is going to be 4. So do version where the 3 was, you'll see that I do get the version for the database. What if I would want to get the current database? Well, I can just do a database. If I send this, you do see that we do get the database for Olympus. So doing this, we do have an SQL map here. We did test out for union injection, which you can get the database and also the version. Using SQL map should be easier for us. So I'm just going to start by testing that out. So I'm going to split my terminals here. We'll put that in here. We do have the data. We can just leave the data here. We did have this for, I believe it was Webmaster. And also the example, which was, I believe it was the hosting, which is Olympus.thm, I believe. So we do have Olympus THM for Webmaster for search.php. We do have the data, which is equal to a parameter. We can submit this. I also do want to add my own parameters here. We'll do a mice batch since SQL map does ask too many questions. So I just want this to just to let it run, right? Also do want to dump out I'll do mice DBS. We can dump out the databases and see the databases from there. We did have 1, 2, 3 for Olympus. We did have for the third one, which is going to be for the database. We did send this. You just see that we do have Olympus. I wonder if this is going to work for, if I do 3, if I do database for 4. I'm not sure if it's going to still going to do Olympus. Yeah, it's still going to do Olympus, right? So here we do have information schema, biscale, Olympus, performance schema, PHP myadmin, and also sys. Also doing this, we can start by using -d for the database. We'll do -d for the database. We do want to go into Olympus. We'll do -minus dump. You can do -minus dump all, or you can just do -minus dump. Doing -minus dump, we do get some hashes here. So we do have Prometheus, root, and also Zeus, at Olympus THM. We do have a chat Olympus THM, a chat.olympus THM. So we do have a new subdomain, which I can just copy. I'm going to put this into my /etc host. So I'm going to do /etc host. So on the tab, now we do have a chat Olympus THM, which is the host name that we do have. I'm going to cat /z host. We do have burp on, so. And here we do get a login here for the username and password. And we do have just a new hosting, which is just chat, which I believe we can just do, we can just run like a GoBuster vhost to find the chat.olympus THM. In this case, shouldn't be too hard since it's only chat, but we did find this in the database. We do have some hashes followed by the usernames or by the user email. So doing this, I'm just going to copy each one and put this into like a hash.txt. So I'm just going to make a directory for hash. CD into hash, we'll be into hash.txt. Put that in there. I'm also going to put, I'm just copy the second one which is going to be for user root. Also do have another user, which can be for Zeus. For the hash, I do identify this as bcrypt since we do have the $2y $. So we can just put this within John. So I'm gonna put that in there. I'm just gonna write quit. I'm just cat this hash.txt. Now we're ready to crack these, right? So now we do have our hash.txt. So I'll do John minus word list. We'll do is equal to /user share word list rocky.txt hash.txt. So we still have this for cracking. Doesn't seem to work because we do need the format. So I'll do format, which is equal this to bcrypt. Since we do have, if I do cat the hash.txt, we do have the $2y $, which is going to be bcrypt. So we can just let that run. So after a while, you will get a password in the summertime. I already did crack this hash since I already did this box. But you can just use John minus show for hash.txt. You should get a password at summertime. So looking back over here, we did have 3 users here. We did have a user as Prometheus, root, and also Zeus. We also did have this chat Olympus THM. So doing this, I'm just going to copy the username. We also did have a password as I believe it was summertime. And we do get logged in. So doing this, we do have a password.txt, which was stored on the server. Looking up here, we did have this password.txt, which has generated a random string. Looking at the chats, this seems like the IT guy is using a random file name function. So they are using a function to generate a random string. You can start by uploading a PHP rev shell. So I'm just going to do like PHP rev. We'll just go to PHP rev shell. We'll just go to pentest monkey. So I'm just going to be getting my PHP rev shell. I'm just going to go to raw. I'm just going to duplicate this on my machine. So do mkdir, I'll just make a first shell. We'll cd into shell. I'm just going to duplicate the shell. I'll begin to PHP rev shell. So we see my IP address on 9001. So I'm going to active mode. We'll just do on 9001. We do need the IP address, which I'm just going to run ifconfig here. So we'll just ifconfig. My IP address is 10.8.165.68. So we put that in there. I'm just going to write quit. Now we can just cat our PHP shell. We'll just head this out. You do see that I do have the IP and also the port on 9001. So I'm going to start my listener. So do all wrapped and cat my VP on 9001. Now I'm just going to I'll just put the message for like test. We'll do that browse. We'll go to other locations, go to backup. Go to TryHackMe for Olympus. We'll go to shell. We'll go to php over shell.php, which is send this. We do need to run SQL map one more time. But by default, if you don't know, SQL map does do caching. It does cache like the databases into an IP address, right? So you have like, if you look under, I believe under user share, or I believe it was like if I locate, I believe if I locate SQL map, I'll just grab out for, let me just more this. These are just like what I ran against every IP address. It is outputting it, and it's also caching the databases. So by default, I don't know this by memory. So if I just search up, we'll just search up SQL map, refresh. We'll do refresh cache. There we go. So doing this, we can basically just use the might smash fresh queries, which you can run this one more time. So we'll run SQL map. We'll do might smash fresh queries. You do see that this does run a fresh query. And now we do have a php version.php. And it is indeed, we do have the file, right? So now we do have our listener up on 9001. Now we can just visit, we did have /uploads, I believe. For doing this, we do ID, and now we do dump data. So I'm gonna start by exporting my term is equal to xterm. I'm gonna start by running like a bin/bash -i. I'm gonna start by doing some more enumeration, so as var HTML. We do have the index.php and also index.html.old. Doesn't seem like we do anything under here. I'm also going to check under / well, actually, we do have two host names here for chat Olympus THM and also Olympus THM. I'm also going to check under /opt. I'm also going to check under /var. I believe we do have a backups under here. It doesn't seem like doing anything. So next, I'm going to start by checking for, usually like checking for like SUID binaries. So I usually do like chi SUID. So do SUID. I do want to find one that does execute alice -ld, which is going to show for who owns that file, right? So we do have Zeus that owns CPU tills. I'm going to be just, I'm running alice -ld on this. It is ran by Zeus. So I'm going to do CPU tills. See what this does. Maybe this gives like an error out. Does seem like we do get an error occurred. I'm going to start by running like a strings against user bin CPU tills. See what this is. So basically, I think it's telling me to enter a file name which you can copy to the target file. So basically, it's using the copy command to copy file to the from the source to the target, right? This is run by Zeus. So I'm going to do alice-mysli under /home. We do have a, or I'm cd into home. We do have user as Zeus. We do have is .ssh. I'm cd into .ssh, and it seems like we do have that. Also do have is we do have this user.flag, which I'm not going to cat out. Also do have a Zeus.txt. So it does seem like basically it looks like the IT kid messed up again, and they gained permanent access as super user on Olympus. So doing this, we do have a .ssh, so maybe we can start by putting like an authorized underscore keys. We do need to make our own, so we can actually copy it into .ssh for Zeus. So doing this, I'm gonna make I'll just make a directory for keys. Let me zoom out. We do have for keys. I'm just do ssh-keygen. We'll copy from root. .ssh. We'll do id underscore say to this directory, and also the .pub. I'm gonna cat this id underscore say .pub. I'm just gonna be putting this under here, so I'm just gonna echo this. I'm just gonna rename this to authorized underscore keys. Now we do have this. Do you have this under here? We'll put this under dev shm. We don't want to change the permissions to chmod 600 because it won't be able to copy from dump data. So I believe we do have that command again, which is we do have user bin CPU utils. So I'm just going to run this. I'm going to run this for dev shm. We did have the file name, which could be for authorize_keys, which is the source file. We do want to put this under home. I believe it was Zeus. I believe that's how you spell it. We do have .sh. Put this under here. Under /home. Do we spell the username right? Maybe we do need to rename it, right? So I'm just gonna run this one more time. We'll put this /dev shm authorize_keys zeus.sh for authorize_keys. It does seem like the file was copied correctly. So the only way to test that out is if we do have we do have the private key for the public key. So SSH into Zeus, which we do have the user. We can do I believe it was, well, what do we have? We have Olympus THM. So I'm just going to copy the host name, which we can just delete this. We can just use -i for ID_SA. Yes. It does seem like it was added. So just to confirm, if I go under .sh, we do have the authorize_keys. You do see this is root at Cali, which is my host name. So doing this, I run ID, downward to Zeus. So doing this, I'm going to start moving a sudo myself. It does seem like we do need a password. So we don't know the password, so I'm going to start by doing some more manual enumeration. So I'm proceeding to var html. Looking back, we did have a, this is owned by root and also Zeus. So I'm proceeding to 0a. We do have a index.html. Also do have a vi. Look at this. We do have a pass here, which we can probably try for like sudo. So we are under the sudo group. Also do have a suid, which I'm guessing is running as suid for libc.so99. So I'm going to run escalation on this. It does seem like this is a suid binary, which can run as root. It is running as root, so we can do id, run a bash. Now we're to root, so we can see to root. Escalation, we can cat a root flag.txt. Well, guys, this is pretty much in the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.